Welcome to this tutorial on native eventing and event-driven architecture. Native Eventing is a powerful platform that brings event-driven capabilities to Kubernetes, enabling you to build modern, scalable, and loosely coupled applications. Throughout this video, we'll explore how native eventing works, its core components, and the benefits it provides for building serverless applications on Kubernetes. Event-driven architecture is a design pattern where services communicate through events rather than making direct calls to each other. In this architecture, producers emit events when something significant happens in the system, such as a user action or a data change. Consumers then react to the events they care about by subscribing to specific event types. This approach creates loose coupling between services, meaning they don't need to know about each other directly. This loose coupling enables each service to scale and be deployed independently, making your application more flexible and resilient. Native Eventing is a Kubernetes native platform specifically designed for building event-driven applications. It provides three key features that make event handling easier. First, it uses standardized event delivery through CloudEvents, which is an open specification for describing event data in a common way. This standardization ensures that events can be understood across different systems and programming languages. Second, Native offers pluggable event sources and sinks, meaning you can easily connect to various event producers and consumers. Finally, it provides automatic scaling based on event traffic, so your services scale up when events increase and scale down when traffic decreases, optimizing resource usage. Native Eventing has three core components that work together to manage events. Event sources are responsible for generating events from external systems like databases, message queues, or cloud services. They act as the entry point for events into your native environment. Brokers serve as the central hub that receives events and routes them to the appropriate subscribers. Think of a broker as a post office that receives mail and knows where to deliver it. Triggers define filtering rules and specify which events should be delivered to which services. Triggers examine event attributes and ensure that only relevant events reach each consumer, preventing services from being overwhelmed with unnecessary data. Event sources bring events into Native from various external systems, making it easy to integrate with existing infrastructure. Kafka is a popular distributed streaming platform that can generate high-volume event streams. Database changes allow you to react to data modifications in real time. HTTP webhooks enable external services to push events into your system via standard web protocols. Message queues from systems like RabbitMQ or Amazon SQS can feed events into Native. Cron schedules let you generate time-based events for periodic tasks. Finally, cloud provider events allow you to respond to events from platforms like Oz, Google Cloud, or Azure. This flexibility means you can connect virtually any event source to your native environment. Let's look at a concrete example of an event source definition. This YAML configuration creates a ping source, which is a simple event source that generates events on a schedule. The API version is sources.native.dev/v1, and the kind is ping source. In the metadata section, we name this source ping-source. The spec section contains the configuration details. The schedule field uses cron syntax with */2*****, which means this source will generate an event every 2 minutes. The data field contains the event payload, which in this case is a JSON object with a message saying "Hello World." Finally, the sync section specifies where events should be delivered. Here, events are sent to a Kubernetes service named event-display. This simple example shows how easy it is to create scheduled events in Native. Brokers and triggers work together to implement sophisticated event routing patterns. A broker acts as a central hub that receives events from various sources and forwards them to subscribers. It provides a stable endpoint where events can be sent, decoupling event producers from consumers. Producers don't need to know who will consume their events, they simply send them to the broker. A trigger defines filtering rules and routes matching events to specific services. Each trigger subscribes to a broker and specifies which events it wants to receive based on event attributes like type or source. This filtering ensures that services only receive events they care about, reducing noise and improving efficiency. Multiple triggers can subscribe to the same broker, allowing different services to react to the same events in different ways. Here's an example of a broker definition. The API version is eventing.native.dev/v1 and the kind is broker. In the metadata section, we name this broker default and place it in the namespace called event-example. The spec section contains the broker's configuration. The config field points to a config map that contains detailed broker settings. In this example, it references a config map with API version v1, kind config map, and name config-br-default. This config map would contain implementation-specific details about how the broker should behave. Brokers can be backed by different implementations, such as an in-memory channel or a more robust message broker like Kafka, and the config map specifies which implementation to use. Now let's examine a trigger definition. The API version is eventing.native.dev/v1 and the kind is trigger. We name this trigger order-trigger in the metadata section. The spec section defines the trigger's behavior. The broker field specifies which broker this trigger subscribes to, in this case, the default broker. The filter section defines which events this trigger is interested in. Under attributes, we specify type::order.created, meaning this trigger only receives events with a type attribute equal to order.created. The subscriber section indicates where matching events should be delivered. Here, the ref field points to a native service named order-processor, with API version serving .native.dev/v1. When an event matching the filter arrives at the broker, it will automatically be routed to the order processor service for handling. Knative Eventing provides several key benefits for building modern applications. First, it enables a decoupled architecture, allowing services to evolve independently without tight dependencies. This means you can update, replace, or scale individual services without affecting the entire system. Second, it provides automatic scaling based on event load. Services scale up when event traffic increases and scale down to 0 when idle, optimizing resource usage and reducing costs. Third, it uses a vendor-neutral event format through CloudEvents, ensuring portability across different platforms and cloud providers. You're not locked into a specific vendor's event format. Fourth, Knative simplifies event routing and filtering through its broker and trigger model, making it easy to implement complex event flows. Finally, it includes built-in retry and dead letter queue support, ensuring reliable event delivery even when consumers are temporarily unavailable. These benefits make Knative Eventing an excellent choice for building scalable, resilient, event-driven applications on Kubernetes.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.